Newest addition to the family. 7.5. Johnson Seahorse. Old style. Pressure tank. Purdy. Stored properly. Looks clean. Should be fun. Let's see what year she is. My guess is 62. They came with the fuel pumps, give or take the horsepower. I'm gonna go with 56. Let us see what we can find inside. I never liked putting it down on the skeg. A lot of weight on a small tip. Ping. The tag says, where's the tag at? There's the tag right there. Good. You all know my history with gravity. Let's see what we got here. Oh boy, it's hard to read this one. Gotta be careful sometimes when you wipe the tags, it's printed on. And then your serial number wipes off. This one's imprinted, so we're good there. And I'm not familiar with the Johnson markings. We know it's a 7.5. We got a serial number there. We got AD11. AD11. And we'll go online and we'll find out that that's going to end up being probably a... It's got to be a 56. Something of that nature. The only problem I see so far is this is jammed in there. So we'll either get a hammer and bang it out or heat it up. There's no fuel pump, so we got the pressure tank, which we'll hook it up to see if she runs, and then we'll convert it. We'll have to if we plan on selling it. But looks like in good shape. Let's pop the hood off. They must always be missing. I've never seen that tit before. The spark plugs are pretty, not rusted up like usual. I was told it was taken care of. Hey, little buggy. You dead? Yep. Looks like a baby praying mantis. Didn't quite make it. Yeah, even the rubber on the bottom is in good shape. Not too much flaky paint here. So, probably never overheated, which is always nice. We'll check compression and all that fun stuff. Carburetor looks clean from the outside. Looks like a kit was put in it. I see a nice fresh gasket down there. Looks good. Yeah, you know, they all flake. They get semi-hot, depending on how much hours it's got. But it's not giving me that huge indication that it had a major overheat. No discoloration. That's what you want to look for. A lot of time you get discoloration between the head and the... But you can see this head here. All paint's in good shape, so solid chance that it never overheated. Check our coils. Probably cracked. Was told it should run because it was stored properly, which is definitely possibly the case. My high-speed needle's a little loose, but we can probably just tighten that packing nut down to fix that. So if we started it up right now, we'd probably get a little seepage in there. But we'll pop the, check the points. Points probably dirty. Check for sparks, see what the compression's like. And we'll dive in. And let me just make sure if I am right. Yes, the shift linkages. Oh wait, I have a plate. Yeah, the older style ones. 50s, mid 50s. Pull the power head and your shift linkage is underneath the head there. And the lower unit will come out. Lower unit will not come out without that. But we've been through that before. That's easy. That is easy. Power head base gasket. Anyways, AD11. Yeah, probably 56, 55. I'm not familiar with the Johnson styles. This plate makes me think 55. Let's go find out. Bring it downstairs. Get some fuel lines for the tank and see if she runs. What did I guess, Matthew? 55? I should have guessed 56. That would have been my official guess. 57. 1957. We were in the right ballpark, but it don't take much to figure out. And if it's coming with a pressure tank, it's gonna be in the mid 50s. 59? I got a 61. 1,
2.
Compression. Compression first, spark second. J6C. J6J plug. I would have went with the J6C. And there is no indicator for the top one.
Oh, yes.
But we don't need an indicator because on the side it's got the ring and this wire's on the top. Plugs are like new. They look new on the outside, but that never indicates anything. They are legit. If they were fired once, I'd be surprised, which could be a problem. It might not fire. That is some pristinage spark pluggage. I will never do that again. Now, a couple of rips on the old cord here. They all do that, this style. Give a little kink sometimes. Something with the clips or the clutch dogs not engaging the top properly. 4 or 5 turns on the old cheapy auto zonage. I don't know why I keep adding AGE to everything. You tip it, it loses its pressure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now there's no set number of pulls. I like to pull at the same amount. I'm showing 90 in the top. That's hot. That's pretty high for these older outboards. 90. Pretty high for an older gentleman. Oh, we're gonna start naming them. Each video I'll revisit which one we're gonna name. I think naming them's kind of fun. Big Red we're gonna call Courtney, after a friend from elementary school. Super nice, but super difficult. Super nice. It's a nice motor. Super difficult. Doesn't want to run right. 25 horsepower that we're just started working on. That's going to be a new hope. We're going to call him Luke. That's my new hope. That motor's name is Luke. A new hope, because that's got to be the motor. It's got to be the motor. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 9-0. On the money. I'm not pulling it anymore. I got 90 in each cylinder. Legit. Same compression. Pretty high, actually, for these older outboards. The 50s motors tend to run 70s, 80s. Get some solid seals there. Head gasket not leaking that we know of. Spark. This is always fun. Kilolights. Here's our spark tester, top cylinder. I don't know why I put both plugs in. I could have saved myself a little bit of pressure. I can't see it. Is it sparking? Camera, can you answer me? Nope, no spark. As expected. Points are probably dirty. And the coils could be cracked. Flywheel was coming off, whether we liked it or not. But it would have been nice to throw it in the barrel and just give it the old start, pull, run. But 50s motor, come on. What are you thinking? Oh! Look at her! Look at her fire! We got a good bottom cylinder. It's strong. Right? And every time. Alright, yeah. So that's good. We got one good coil with a set of clean, sexy points. We got one coil that may need to be replaced. I bet you, you're hearing it here first. I bet a subscriber, and subscribers mean everything to me right now. I bet a subscriber, points are dirty. I clean the points. This will go from this to what the bottom one looked like a second ago. Actually, light. There's a smidge spark there, so I'm going to say the coil's good. I'm just going to clean the points up. Could be a blown condenser too, but we got some new stuff for that too. Anyways, oh, the carb's definitely coming off. We'll clean that up. I want to set my needles and all that fun stuff. Maybe we won't put a carb kit in it. Blasphemy. Anyways, 57 on the bench. We'll get her running. That's a guarantee. Somebody tell my man it's not his fault. It's not his fault. It's just what happens. They crack, you know. It's just the age and the material they made. They eventually figured it out and went to this style type. You could tell this one was replaced and this one's original. And I'm going to wager a tiny, teeny, pincy guess that this is our top cylinder. It's amazing, though, even though it cracks like this, how much spark the top cylinder was getting. It was little and it was faint. It was pretty solid there. It was in there, you know, it was there. Obviously, that's a bad coil. This one's been replaced into a newer style. Sparks like a champ. One new coil ain't bad. I'm actually surprised. It's only one, but that's what happens. So the points are probably clean as a whistle. This one's a little dirty. This one looks a lot cleaner, but we're going to change that coil, and we should get banging spark out of both with minimal effort. As much as I want to change the wires and the plugs and new wires, points, condensers, and the whole works, just ain't got the time, ain't got the money. Change this coil, call it a day. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, you can never assume anything. Good channel on YouTube taught me that, but it doesn't sink in, you know, it doesn't comprehend. There's a brain cell not popping when you say that because it don't sink in, and then I start assuming, and we got issues. You're looking at it. Nice coil. New, replaced, junk. No good. That's funny. Now, where's that other coil? I threw it away already. Remember I popped the flywheel off, and what did I assume? Remember that cylinder that was firing so brightly? This coil working phenomenally. Sparking like a champ. Broken to high hell. Sparking like a champ. It looks like he replaced this coil and the points on this side, and this coil went bad. Why did that happen? Very interesting. Not sure. Long story short, I swapped this coil thinking it was bad. It had to be swapped anyway with one of the coils I had from another one. And when, again, no spark in the top cylinder, I checked the points, which were gapped wrong, and they looked dirty. And I said, that's it. Put the flywheel back on. No spark. What the hell? Follow the spark plug wire like a dope, assuming, right to this coil. Coil's no good. I'm not going to throw it away. I'm going to test it and see what the hell's wrong with it. But, long story short, there you go. You saw it. Bang. 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 I can do this all day, folks. Bang. Firing like a champ now. What in the world? So, now that we have two of our main components checked, compression's excellent, 90 each cylinder. Sparking like a motor should. Pop this back off. I gotta find my flywheel key nut. Points are adjusted, looking good, firing excellently. Next, carburation. Get this sucker off there, clean it up, look at it. And then we're waiting on that response down below to see if we should try to run it first or disassemble and do the water impeller. Let me know. Okay, so we popped the carb off. We're gonna work on. I want to see if there's a way to sync this carburetor up. I haven't seen any YouTube videos on the subject, so the experts down below can greatly appreciate helping me. I know you can adjust this to get it to line up with the mark. There's a little armature plate mark there for when the throttle should open. My problem is at full throttle, the carburetor's not opening all the way. It looks like the butterfly valve is like 3/4, not a little more than 3/4. It's almost there, but it's not quite right. So it's opening till about there, and it should be there, like level. It's opening till about there. That's at full throttle. So Was wondering if adjusting this armature plate or throttle plate, whatever you call it, will help that. I'm assuming it will, but this screw here can be adjusted, but it doesn't look like it has any play. This one does. This one looks like it make the back end of it come out, but I'm interested. I'm curious. It doesn't look right. Anyway, I am not gonna bore you with a carburetor teardown video unless clean as a whistle. As a whistle. But I did recently pick up this carburetor cleaner thing with the basket that all the cool guys use, so we're gonna use that. I also need to buy a set of those picks because I can never get those things out of there. I had a screwdriver, I ruined the threads all the time. But pretty clean, old cork float. So I said there might have been a kit in it. Probably not. Probably the original float. Needle and seat. However, the needle and seat do function perfectly. Technically, we could reuse it. So carb is, decent. What we will do is clean it up. Okay, guys. So let me know in the comments. Option 1, we just put it back together. Carb is soaking now. Just throw the carb back on it and get some new fuel lines and hook it up to my pressure tank. Or option 2 is we go ahead and take the intake manifold off, convert it to the single line system. If we go that route, I'll just pop this power head off so we can get to the water impeller, and we'll do that as well. So option 1, put it back together, see if she runs. Or option 2, just finish the motor and get it to optimal running for sale. Let me know in the comments. Thanks for stopping by. Please consider subscribing, and we will see you in the next video.